Mia, a Lightning Conqueror, Chapter 2 by Stasia Xu. Chapter 2 Mia's Glorious Years. Come Saturday, I arrived at Putra Power Plant much earlier than my appointment. This time the security guards didn't ask for entrance fee. They immediately opened the gate when they saw my car. It seemed they've known that I had an appointment with Mia. At the building entrance, a man offered a valet parking service, but I asked for permission to park the car myself in their indoor parking lot. I wanted to observe as much as possible this mysterious company. They opened the garage door for me. I drove my car to level 3, the highest level, and parked there. And the reward, 180 degrees of beautiful scenery, rice paddies on the left of the river, and beautiful garden on the right. It was this scenery that I saw from the helicopter. Beautiful groups of trees with colorful fruits and flowers, a pond in the middle for the dragonfly's habitat. Beside the pond there was a pavilion and an archway. And near the end of the garden were the bees' houses. I have ever regretted driving that far and quickly retreated from the bees' territory. Well, I wonder why the architect of this building reserved such beautiful scenery for a parking lot. A woman approached. Her voice was somewhat familiar. "Mr. Peterson, you come early. How are you? I am Susie, by the way. It's very nice to meet you in person," Susie said. "No wonder your voice is familiar. Nice to meet you, Susie," I said. "Please forgive my rudeness the other day. Putra never allowed anyone to enter the garden, but I'm glad you could get in somehow," she said. "Shall I show you the way to the meeting room?" "Yes, thank you," I answered. Susie led me to a meeting room with a view of rice paddies. Seriously? A colorful garden view for a parking lot, and this plain green scene for a meeting room? "Putra will be here soon. Please feel free to enjoy the snack and make a cup of coffee or tea. If you need anything else, just press 0 on the phone. Have a nice day, sir," Susie said. "Thank you," I said. Then Susie left the room. While I enjoyed sweet mango, Mia came in. "Good morning, thank you for coming," she greeted. "Good morning. Fresh mango from the garden?" I asked as I pointed the mango pieces on the plate. "Yes, delicious, isn't it?" Mia asked. "Yes, very good," I answered. Last week, Mia gave a tough argument about her garden, so I dared myself to ask, just out of curiosity, was it your idea to design the building this way? "Yes," he answered. "I talked to the architect how I wanted it to be. It is simple yet elegant, isn't it? But I wonder, why do you want the garage to have such beautiful scenery and this view in a meeting room? I'm sorry for my question. You argued so well last week, so I want to know the reason behind your idea," I asked. "Do you want a garden scene?" Mia asked. She walked to a control panel and changed the setting of the room. A curtain slid over to show a huge screen behind it, with a garden view on the screen. "This is live. Which scene do you like?" "The bee scene? That's my favorite." "No, I don't like bees. They sting," I said. "You don't like bees? They are the heroes in the garden. They pollinate the flowers." "Perhaps you like the jambu tree, the place where we first met," Mia said as she changed the scene. "Usually for a meeting, I prefer this rice paddy scenery. It is calm, nothing much is going on, no distraction, simply green. Anyway, my accountant told me that you have roughly understood the company's financial condition. It is pretty good, isn't it? This company is my biggest investment. After you offered me advice, I was thinking what kind of advice I want. I came up with 2 things," Mia said. So she gave away her financial information to my assistant. Then I was curious about what advice she wanted. As you've probably known, I've tried my best to accommodate my employees' needs. However, one thing still lacks: their retirement planning. This is a relatively young company. When we started, we were all young. We were happy enough to follow federal rules on retirement planning. But you know that the federal retirement planning in Indonesia isn't the best. Now we are middle-aged. It is time for us to make a better plan, Mia said. What is the second thing? I asked. Mia blushed before she spoke. The second thing is, I have always wanted to go to Switzerland, but I'm afraid to go there alone. Every time this company has a trip abroad, we always choose an English-speaking country because our main objective is to visit libraries and purchase science books. I wonder if you are willing to go to Switzerland with me and help me open a bank account there. I'll pay for the return flight business class. I definitely can help you with the first, but I think about the second. The thing is, I'm not a fan of money laundering or other illegal activities, I said. I'm not a fan either, Mia said. Do you really need to know my revenue source? That'll help, I said. Okay, but you have to sign this client confidential agreement first, Mia said. I looked at the agreement and asked, Did you get this from Edo? Because it was exactly the same form our bank used. Yes, Edo signed one too, she answered. After I signed it, Mia said, This is a lightning-generated power plant. At first, I didn't really grasp the meaning of what she said. It was so plain, yet it was so out of this world. How come I've never heard of such an invention? I asked. Mia took a deep breath. Because we haven't registered the patent, she answered. Why? I asked. Because people are afraid of lightning. If the villagers disapprove our existence, the company might be shut down. But we plan to register the patent this year. I've promised Professor Johnston. We are currently preparing all the paperwork, Mia said. Then maybe we should talk later, after you file the patent, I suggested. No, I really need this trip to Switzerland. I'm freaking out, she admitted. Every time I'm thinking about how people will react to the news, I procrastinate. Since I've signed the client confidentiality agreement, may I know how you do it? How do you generate power? I asked. You realize that you are asking for this company's most important secret, don't you? Mia spoke nervously. Yes, but you are asking me a big favor too. I promise I won't tell anyone, said I. Mia took a deep breath. The water tanks, we fill them with water. In rainy season, a lightning will reach the tip of a lightning rod. The electricity flows from the rod through the surface of the water to the metal wall, then through hundreds of wires that connect the wall to the super batteries. When the lightning reaches the water, it will also hit the water and evaporate it. That's why the water reserves are never full in rainy season, Mia explained. I heard that the flood control has worked from the beginning. That means you've been successful since the start, I asked. Yes, since the dam and the tanks were built, we have successfully controlled the amount of water flowing through the dam. But before Professor Johnston joined us, we burned most of the batteries. Although the electric current has been spread through surfaces of water, metal wall and metal wires, this current was still too strong for our poor batteries. Professor Johnston's batteries are better and we are making profits selling them, Mia said. But a lightning only strikes randomly, I said. We spread salt around the tip of the lightning rods. Usually the lightning will strike those rods. Sometimes a lightning even strikes our poor drone that spreads the salt. Luckily, we make the cheap drones ourselves. We only need to fish it out of the tank on a sunny day, Mia said. Then the water is salty. How do you transfer it back to the river on sunny days? I asked. With the same method a survivor on an ocean used to survive, Mia answered. We put on glass ceilings on sunny days and hang half pipes beneath them. The pure H2O evaporated by the blazing sun drops from the ceiling into the pipes, then into the river. Your method seems pretty good, but why are you so afraid? I asked. Mia was reluctant to answer, but she spoke anyway. If people ask whether there has never been an accident, I cannot lie and say no.